Hey everybody, Legal Vices here, welcoming you back. It's been a while, I'm a little bit behind, so we got to plow through these. This is The Last of Us, Season 1, Episode 5, spoiler-filled, unprofessional, unedited, one-take review. All right, let's go. Endure and Survive is the title of this episode, and we're going to go straight into the Game of Thrones for Virus's intro. Again, if you know, you know. Starts with an anti-Fedra riots in Kansas. The revolutionaries have won. Henry and his deaf brother Sam, they sneak through the city, and then it cuts to Kathleen, the leader of the revolutionaries in the quarantine zone there in Kansas. Kathleen, she's questioning a group of sympathizers with her strong-arm bearded wonder Perry, and she demands to know where Henry is. Said, you're all informers. That's what you're all doing here. So inform. And when they talk, she orders Perry to kill them all. When they don't talk, when they don't talk, Kathleen orders Perry to kill everybody. And then one guy says, okay, wait. Henry's with a dude named Edelstein somewhere in the city. And then she orders Perry to kill everyone and burn the bodies. And so then it cuts to Henry and Sam. They're clearing a building and meeting Edelstein. He turns out to be the doctor that Kathleen killed a couple of episodes ago. So there's no food, there's no ammo. They have about 11 days of rations left, so they're gonna sneak out of the city. They're gonna take off. And then we fast forward 10 days. The revolutionaries are doing door-to-door sweeps, looking for Henry and Sam. The doctor, they find the building. The doctor isn't there. He isn't coming back. Henry and Sam, so they have to move. They got to move because they're getting closed in on. And just as they're getting ready to leave, Joel crashes his truck into the building across the street, which we saw 2 episodes ago. And then the firefight starts. Then it's nightfall, and Henry and Sam, they're clearing the building away. And then it cuts to Sam, who's finding Joel and Ellie at the end of the episode where they're asleep. And then Ellie wakes up and sees him. But Henry doesn't like the sound of Joel's voice, and Ellie says that that's kind of normal because Joel has an asshole voice. Then we learn that Sam is Henry's 8-year-old brother, and Henry is going to help Joel and Ellie get out. And Henry admits to being a collaborator, so Joel doesn't want to work with him because he's a rat. Nobody wants to work with a rat. But Sam and Ellie, they're laughing in the corner. They're being kids, and then Joel and Henry, they start to plan how they're going to get out. And Henry drops his weird bomb that the infected have been living underground for 15 years. So there should be no infected underground, which means there's just going to be like a ton of them underground, obviously. So, they make their way to the tunnels. They found an old school deep in the tunnels, like an old tunnel school, I guess. Maybe it was like an elementary school, a kindergarten or something, because there's children's paintings everywhere. And they decide that they're going to wait it for a while in this underground school. So Ellie and Sam, they're still having fun, continuing to play. And that's probably going to mean some bad news for Sam because, you get too close to the main characters and you die. So Henry said earlier that he'd never killed anybody, but now he says that someone died because he had to get medicine for his little brother. The group go out of the zone, and there are shots coming from a house. Joel circles around the house, and then he goes in to take the shooter out. But it's an old man, and he has a rifle. And he starts to point the rifle at Joel, and Joel begs him not to do it. Don't do it. But the old man turns to him, and Joel takes him out. But it turns out the old man was a lookout for Kathleen. Because his walkie-talkie starts to go off, and it comes on and says, they're coming close. Hold them until we get there. And so the cars are closing in, and now, oh my gosh, they're going to run over Henry and the kids. But Joel takes out the lead car. It's like a big van or a bus or a semi or something, and it crashes into the house next door and explodes as the gas ignites. And then Kathleen and her army come looking for them. They're on foot, but the kids and Henry are hiding behind a car, and Henry gives himself up, and he tells the kids to run. Just as Kathleen gets ready to shoot Henry, the truck that hit the house falls through to the basement of the house, and then you just hear infected roaring and growling. And then a trench opens up, and about 1 million infected come pouring out, which was what we expected to happen after they said they've been living underground, so now there should be nobody alive underground anymore. But this is what's cool is coming up out of this trench comes a giant bloater. They are these big, massive sons of bitches from the game that are just incredibly difficult to kill. So you got this giant bloater that's coming, taking everybody out, and everybody's dying. All of Kathleen's people are getting massacred. Kathleen runs, and then her right arm, the bearded wonder Perry, the bloater just picks him up and just rips his head off. And so Perry's gone, and Ellie jumps inside of a car to hide. And then you hear this little kid clicker just going, getting in the car. And then, the kid, I think it was one of the kids from the school they were in, because it was like a little schoolgirl. So maybe she was like a little kid that turned clicker. So anyway, this thing's in the back of the car going, and Ellie jumps out and she leaves the clicker in the car, and they're running away. Ellie, and she jumps into this car where Henry and Sam are hiding, and she helps them escape from 2 infected. So they run away, but Kathleen gets them and makes them stop. Excuse me. Just as she's getting ready to shoot them, the clicker kid comes flying out of the truck and lands on Kathleen, and he's like pounding on her on the ground, and then starts just munching on her. So Joel joins them outside the house, and then everybody takes off. Sam, Henry, Ellie, and Joel. They get to a motel, and they're taking a rest. And the adults are in one room, and Sam and Ellie, they're in another room. And then Sam shows Ellie that he was bitten. Again, never get too close to the main character. But Ellie, she tries to save the day here. She said that her blood is medicine. So she cuts her hand and she rubs some of her blood onto his bite, hoping that it'll save his life. Then they both fall asleep. And when she wakes up, Sam's looking out the window, sitting on the bed. And she goes over to Sam, and Sam goes, and attacks her. He's been infected and zombified, and her little blood cure didn't work. And they end up fighting, and they fall back in the living room. And the adults are like, holy crap. And then Henry shoots his boy in the head. And then he can't deal with it. So blam, he deletes himself. Joel buries the bodies, and they move on. And that is the end of this particular episode. That was another episode of The Last of Us, episode 5 of season 1. Season 1, episode 5 of Last of Us. And as you can tell, that was a spoiler-filled, unprofessional, unedited, one-take review. We're halfway through the season here. We got to go a little bit more. There's going to be 9 episodes in the season. So we've just crossed the halfway point. We're going to get there, and it's going to be a wild ride because I'm liking this so far. I'm liking it. A lot of people have problems with some of the episodes, some of the changes they've made to the game, but I quite like this. I think it's pretty good. I'm excited for the last 6, 7, 8 episodes, so the last 3 episodes, and then the finale is coming up. So 4 more episodes. This is going to be a great season. I hope it is. We'll catch you for episode 6 coming up next. Bye now.